Hello there, friends! Yesterday, the second ever live HLTV award ceremony took place, where we found out who took the top spot of the year, as if we didn't already know. We learned also who became the top 2 and top 3, how M0NESY got robbed in broad daylight, and as usual there were scandals and controversial moments. I've gathered all the most interesting stuff just for you. Without further ado, let's get straight to it. First, we shall talk about the HLTV awards and then move on to the other news. So, it all took place in Belgrade, Serbia the other night. Legends of the pro scene, the world's best players, bloggers, streamers, basically the esports Oscars. Basically, almost everyone who creates content or is related to the pro scene was there. Like last year, the veterans received HLTV medals for past years. For instance, just take a look at this. Edward got his medal for the 16th place of 2013, which is just a mere 10 years ago. And yo, just take a look at this guy. He's so big and so bulky. He's magnificent, powerful. Also, other legends of the pro scene were there, like French guys, Polish guys, Swedish, and in short, lots of CS stars. The event started with 2 HLTV editors and Sponge discussing everything that was going to happen that day. It was kinda slow and not that exciting, but they did show those players who just missed the top 20. For example, Electronic in the 22nd place, Exile in 26th, and surprisingly SDY in 27th. Followed by Bit and Ime, who, according to HLTV, apparently changed his nationality for some reason. After that came the community nominations, where ordinary people voted on their website and winners were determined by these votes. So, according to viewers, the major in Paris was the best tournament of the year. The main content creator of the year was 3Clicks Philip, though I honestly thought it would be Nate King. And as for the streamer of the year, it was deservedly OniPixel. Guys, just imagine, he won over Galas. That means even all of Brazil couldn't stop OniPixel, which is commendable. And finally in this segment, the best talent of the year, and it's Sponge. I personally was rooting for more Banks or Scrawny, but no luck. And so, slowly, we approach the main event of the evening, or at least one of them. You know that before the ceremony, Simple and his brother kept saying that there would be some big announcement at the HLTV Awards. Whether Simple would say he is coming back or maybe even switching to Valorant, in short, the hype was pretty real. And then, Simple came on the broadcast.
Do you want to let the world know, or are we losing Simple? Are you going to Valorant? What's happening?
Yeah, it's actually hard to say, but yeah, I decided to retire. I decided to retire from competitive scene, and I know it's for some people know this, but some people don't know, and I just want them to know that I'm just kidding.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm not gonna slide #1 once again. And actually, I won.
I nearly fell off my chair when I heard that Simple is ending his career. Simple played the bait quite well, I think many initially believed it. But of course he came to talk about something else. Together with his brother, they're launching some kind of esports school for younger players. Anyone can try and learn to play CS even better. And they provided no more details, only that the launch of the project is scheduled for April of the year. It sounds pretty interesting, but not entirely clear how it will be organized. Anyways, we'll see. Now we move on to the official part. If earlier everyone was sitting on couches and it all looked a bit cringe, we're moving to the hall right now with the stage and everything as it should be. Here the nominations were finally more serious. For example, they started with the Coach of the Year, and it's unquestionably Zonic. And for some reason his competitors were the coaches of Ants and Mouse, neither Robin or Swanee. So basically, in general, it was all clear here. Next, the bar was raised, the Captain of the Year. The competition here is much higher: Snappy, Kerrigan or Apex. And the award, of course, went to the hairy captain who promised us to shave himself, but he still didn't after winning the major. I think it's also quite obvious here. Vitality won important tournaments, changed the lineup several times and still remained at the top. As Blade would say, the system just works. The next nomination was the Sniper of the Year: M0NESY, Zyvu or Brokey. No matter how much M0NESY or Brokey fans root for their favorites, there is no chance here. Zyvu naturally naturally won this award. Moving on, we have the Anchor of the Year award, and Magisk, Flames and JKS were competing for it. Oh, I would love to give this award to the Australian genius, but of course the major champion Magisk claimed it. And Edward presented the award, by the way.
Oh, we've done? Okay, and the Anchor of the Year award goes to... Magic.
Grandpa was quite nervous, but in any case it was nice to see him on stage. Let's continue with the awards, and the next in line is Closer of the Year. Robs came to compete with Spinks and Frozen. Naturally, no one in the world has a chance against this genius. Robs' performance as a closer is just next level. He's unreachable. And now they have joined forces with Frozen again, a duo made in heaven. Next is Opener of the Year, and here too everything was super obvious. Nico, Rain or Sertion. And of course, it was Nico. Every year he talks about reaching the peak of his form, but it turns out he had some endless peaks. In 2021 he was at the limit, and in 2022 he didn't lag behind, and this year he surpassed himself. And guys, just look at him, he looks outstanding, the suit, the haircut, everything. I mean, it's just a ready-to-go material for GQ or some other fancy magazine. If he opened his CS courses right from the stage right at the moment, I would immediately sign up. Now we move on to the most controversial part of the awards, the best highlight of the year. Here we have Cadian's 1v5 against Vitality during the Blast group stage, which was in the final match of Group A.
With another kill, ZywOo traded back, Cadian the one-man army. 2 kills already to his name, 3 kills already claimed, and a 4th could be had. Ooh. Oh my god! Cadian from start to finish with bomb. But here comes Dupree, quietly, creeping, lurking, and Cadian saw a sliver. Oh my god! Oh my god! 1v5! An absolute beast!
Then we have ZywOo's 1v4 against G2 at the Major in the first round of the group stage.
Just got absolutely blown up. That's such a ridiculous round. ZywOo now in a 1v4. And why not? Why not? You know, try and see if you can clutch it at the end. That would certainly crush G2. He's down below. They have no idea. It is the final drop. Oh my god. JKS and M0NESY on the other side. He's going to tap the bomb once. No kit, so this is going to be even more difficult. It's nearly a 2-for-1 shot. Oh my god. He's going to put up the smoke and try and tap it again. He's no clue where M0NESY is. He just doesn't know. But now he does. He finds the shot. And it is a ridiculous world-class clutch coming in from ZywOo.
And finally, M0NESY with his spectacular ace on Inferno against Astralis in the first match of the Cologne group stage.
Rounds will not last long. Back to pistols, back to pace, into B, and in your face, M0NESY! 3 digs in 3 shots, and he wants every single one!
And can you guess who won the award? ZywOo. Many were shocked by this decision. To me, personally and honestly, this more feels like the scam of the year. In terms of beauty, M0NESY's moment was undoubtedly the best, and in terms of importance, Cadian's was. They were losing 10-12, and after that highlight, they won on Nuke. So that moment turned the game around. While ZywOo's moment, on the other hand, was at the end of the first half and didn't really impact the game much, as G2 started to make a comeback afterwards. A strange decision from any angle, it loses in beauty and importance. Yes, it was a tough and powerful moment, but for me, M0NESY was simply robbed. And he himself is unlikely to be happy with this outcome. They didn't give him the Sniper Award nor the Highlight Award. Luckily, he's still too young, and his awards will come in the future, I have no doubt about it. But the awards ceremony doesn't end there, the main awards are still to come. For example, the Breakthrough of the Year, and no, Dunk isn't here. Instead, we have GymFat, Ime, and Nerds. Usually, such nominations are for super young talents that just are starting out, but this time the candidates aren't the most obvious. And Nerds won here without any questions, he's a breakthrough. At the beginning of the year, nobody knew about him, and now he's one of the best riflers on the planet. The Israeli CS is in the meta right now, and that's cool. Next, we have the best teams of the year, women's and men's. And there's no point in creating any intrigue here. Nigma Galaxy and Vitality won accordingly. Super obvious, we won't dwell on it. Best female esports athlete of the year, Anna. And again, this year she was just unstoppable, so it was pretty obvious as well. Who can ever beat Nigma Galaxy and Anna? I have no idea. Guys, if you have anything, just tell me in the comments below. Finally, we come to the most important and interesting part, who became the best player of the year. Drumroll, it's, of course, ZywOo. And there were no questions here. He's just head and shoulders above everyone else, with incredible stats, and only Prime Simple, who's currently chilling, could stop him. And you know what? Even HLTV editors themselves admitted that this year was the easiest in terms of choosing who is the best player, like in the whole history of HLTV awards. And by the way, speaking of Simple, he announced in his speech that he'll return very soon, maybe in a month or maybe in 2. We're eagerly awaiting, and it's even more interesting to see where he will return, to Navi or maybe some other team. Anyways, congratulations to ZywOo, the boy is kissed by Gaben himself, born on the same day as CS. He continues to amaze us with his game. Now he has as many top player awards as Simple, 3. What is this if not the Messi vs Ronaldo battle in the esports world? However, the community was most interested in something else. Who would be the top 2, Robs or Nico? If we only looked at CS2, Robs would be undoubtedly ahead of everyone else. But we must not forget that the majority of the year we had CSGO, where Nico was stronger. That's why HLTV placed him in the second spot. Here's a brief explanation why Nico became the top 2. The only player to surpass Nico throughout the year, and not even in everything, is ZywOo. Nico has the world's best ADR, and he's second globally in T-side rating, impact, and rating against the top 10. He ranks 3rd in the world on pistol rounds, 3rd in multi-kills, and 4th in damage in rounds 1. He played almost 40% of the maps in the year with a rating above 1.30. Nico, what are you? He's 3rd in rating at big tournaments and 4th in key matches. In reality, he outperformed Robs in almost everything except personal awards. However, Robs has a couple of MVPs and EVPs from the super weak tournaments like Thunderpick. The only area where the Estonian was stronger is statistics in key matches with rating of 1.25, just 1.01 less than ZywOo. So Robs is a pure genius of finals and elimination matches. However, when FaZe is not under threat, he can chill and not show such a hardcore performance. The numbers don't lie, Robs had his best year, but Nico was more influential in every aspect for his team. It's a bit unfortunate for Robs, but I think he's not disappointed at all. Feel free to share your thoughts about the HLTV ceremony in the comments below. What you agree with and what you don't, I'm curious to know your opinions. To me personally, this ceremony itself was terribly long, over 4 hours. I fit all of this into a 15-minute video. If they made the ceremony an hour and a half, it would be the best in the world in terms of content. But when they deliberately stretch it into 4 hours, it looks super weak in terms of density. If you think my videos are all fluff, then you clearly haven't watched the HLTV award ceremony. That's pretty much all I wanted to tell you about the award ceremony itself. Now quickly about the qualifiers for the RMR. As I said earlier, the open qualifiers are still going, 3 have already been played, with the last one remaining. And of course, there have been problems these days as well. For example, cheaters at first, and then one time there weren't even enough spots for registration. You can imagine the faces of Bleed players and management when they missed their 3rd try because more than 1024 teams were already registered. PGL just didn't anticipate this and couldn't do anything about it. Yes, now they've increased the number of teams, but it still turned out funny. And sad for Bleed. I think we will analyze and summarize all this separately after the end of all open qualifiers. For now, that's what we have. From the first open qualifiers, as I already said, Koi, Thunderflash, Fnatic and Entropique qualified. From the second qualifiers, Heroic, Sinners, Ikla and Para. From the third, OG, Ecstatic, Permita and Sync. Those who I didn't mention have not qualified yet. Today is their last chance. As for the American division, things are not so straightforward. For example, Liquid lost to M0NESY with a score of 3-13. This isn't the end yet, and they continue to fight for a spot, but they didn't make it in the first try. Complexity and Wildcard Gaming teaming with Stanislav didn't disappoint. We'll find out the rest in the coming days. In general, we continue to watch the qualifiers for the major, we're waiting for the close qualifiers to begin and enjoy some great CS. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your comments below, as it hugely helps me to develop my channel. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate this. And as always, I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.